So like with the second apron, it's a lot harder to retain mid-level players, like really good mid-level players. You have to take a chance on younger guys. When you think about it, like the natural progression of an NBA team is if you do get a young star like Ja, they're supposed to learn from those older guys. And then from there, they take over those leadership roles as the older guys, the veteran players move on, right? So that didn't happen here. I have a funny, kind of a neat story reflecting on it. So in January 2023, so the 22-23 season was when Memphis finished second in the West. I took my sons as a Christmas present to see Memphis and Oklahoma City play back to back. I believe Oklahoma City was first. And when we, so at the time, when you think about it, this was Chet's rookie year. So he's sitting out. And Oklahoma City, you could tell they were on the rise. The Magic were as well. But no one would have guessed that within 3 years they would have won a championship. And now, and that we're going to get into Oklahoma City later, like be gunning for, I don't know, maybe 75 wins. I mean, like this team is unbelievable. And we're going to talk about them later. At the time, though, Memphis was the young upstart team in the NBA that everyone had their eyes on. They ended up getting the 2 seed that year. Keep in mind, remember, Tyus Jones he started like 20 something games that year. Ja, even then, didn't play. I mean, he maybe played 70 to 75% of the games that year. And we were able to stay at the same hotel as the Oklahoma City team. So we rode an elevator with the assistant GM. And this guy's been all over. I believe he's with the Wizards now. And he was telling us, man, this group, this young group of guys, they love basketball. They're all in. They're locked in. He was saying just the best stuff. And the most interesting conversation I had was with their head of security, because at the hotel they came down. He was kind of monitoring, like letting people get autographs and whatnot. And he told me, we struck up a conversation, and he said, listen, man, this team, like, we don't have to worry about anything with these guys. Like, none of them are staying out late. None of them are getting into trouble. They play basketball. They hang out as a team. They go to their room and they'll play cards. They'll play video games. They go to bed at a normal hour, and they wake up the next morning ready to ball. And I remember that conversation. And obviously at the time, we didn't know yet some of the behind the scenes stuff that ended up coming to light with Ja Morant. But it's wild, like the contrast, right? Because if you looked at those two teams, Memphis was ahead of where Oklahoma City was at, and they were climbing. They had a young big three, essentially, with JJJ, Bane, and Ja. They had all these other great pieces, and it just seemed logical that they were the team that would have had a chance to win a title soon after that. And everything fell apart, right? All of it due to, I think, you can kind of point to when stuff started to fall apart for Ja, and that's in the past, but I feel like it was concerning, to say the least, the accountability he took for it, his ability to really own up to it. And this just feels like it's kind of in the same vein, what's going on now. And I mean, now people are talking about, they're not just talking about trading, they're talking about moving the franchise to another city. Like, it's wild how fast stuff fell apart. And I just think back to like the juxtaposition of that young Oklahoma City team who hadn't even made the playoffs yet. They weren't even going to make the playoffs that year. And that Memphis team that seemed like a contender that year. They were a 2 seed. It's wild, man. And it's sad because I just think with Ja, he should be just entering his prime. But I almost want to say when he was in his prime as like a 22-year-old, 21-year-old, everything feels different now. And it's just, I think it's just a good reminder, like the little stuff adds up, the little stuff really counts. And I think we're seeing that play out in real time. And it's really crazy that him and Zion were in the same draft class, because like they're both
stole the words
cautionary
right
tales.
out of my mouth. Yeah, you stole the words. I didn't really have much of other than just to bring up, like, man, they went 1 and 2 in that draft class, and you can't really remember anyone else in that class, right? But it was like going into that class, it was like, all right, you want the first or second pick, and New Orleans and Memphis got it. They drafted Zion and Ja, and man, looking back now, is that 7 years now? It's just like, wow, going into their career, maybe 6. It's just like those teams are headed in a very bad direction, and you never would have thought that when they won the first, second pick in the lottery. They hit the jackpot, right? And so to see where they are now, I mean, you stole the words right out of my mouth, that thought about just Zion and Ja in that draft.